Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm sorry I'm coming to you in less than ideal circumstances. I'm sitting on my floor. If you could see what my phone was propped up on right now, you would be like, oh my god, I can't believe you're filming a video like that. I don't have the supplies, but we know this already, so let's get into it. Welcome to another weekly update. This is episode 2. I just wanted to sit down and film this really quickly, even though I have 1,000 things to do today. This week has been really busy for me, but I'm never too busy to fight racism in America. And so I'm here to educate you as always. Got my handy dandy notebook with all of my notes for today's video in it. And let's get into it. This is news you may have missed while watching mainstream media. Okay, so first up we have our politician spotlight. It is what's going on. Roll the clip. So today's politician spotlight is Patricia Timmons-Goodson. She is running in North Carolina for the 8th Congressional District. If you saw in the last video, I live in the 10th Congressional District, but I'm still doing my research on politicians everywhere where my followers may live, or just politicians that are doing great things, and I want everyone to be more informed. So she is running for the U.S. House of Representatives. She is a proud 65-year-old black woman. She's running against an incumbent who has been in office for 8 years, I believe. I did not write the date down. I'm so sorry about that, but she is older and she has a great platform. I won't spoil it for you, so go look her up. But she is 65 and she probably won't run again, but she has a really great platform, and I think she can affect some good change on the national level. So like, if that's your district, go look her up. Even if it's not your district, go look her up. Go look up politicians, stay informed. Now, our next piece of news is it's not really news. I just want to sit here, have a little fireside chat moment for everyone. Let me get a little closer to the camera. Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask. I just want to make it very clear to everyone. Everyone's like, oh, so worried we're gonna have a second wave of the coronavirus. Let me just let you in on a little secret, a little bitty secret. We're still in our first wave. Wild that after 3 months of quarantine, we're still in our first wave of this virus. Let me just tell you, 3 months is a very long time. From March to April, April to May, and now May to June. That's 3 full months we've been in quarantine. If we were doing quarantine properly, we could have gotten our cases down to like almost 0, and our first wave would be over. But the cases never went down that low. Coronavirus was doing great, cases were going down, and now states are starting to open back up, and cases are going back up, like astronomically, rising very quickly. I know North Carolina alone had 1,300 cases in one day. And now some people may say, oh, it's just because we're doing more testing that we have more cases. But like, do you not understand? Like, I don't know what's not clicking for everyone. I realize that we have rights, and people are like, oh, my rights. Oh, I have the right to not wear a mask. Sure, you also have the right to die if you want to, but that doesn't mean my life should be put in danger because you think it's your right to not wear a mask. But like, you're affecting my life, and like, you could give me the virus and I could lose my life because of your rights. Like, so it's just not clicking for me why people don't understand. Wear a mask, stay home as much as possible. Obviously, if you can't stay home, then like that, you can't do that. But like, please just be aware and like look out for other people. Like, this is not a second wave. We are still in our first wave of this virus, and the fact that it's lasting so long is very troubling. I don't know that America can shake this virus, and even the scientists are very like not very hopeful that America can get rid of this virus because like people just aren't listening. So like, listen to your doctors, listen to the governors and the city officials on the news telling you to stay home. Like, please wear a mask, social distance, like do all the good things, and let's try to eradicate this virus. Our next piece of news is a little bit of sad news. There was a shooting this week, if you didn't hear about it, in Atlanta. A man by the name of Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed. He was shot in the back. I will link the entire video of the interaction down below. It's not gory or anything, but you do see him fall to the ground, but it's from afar, so like I just want to put that warning out there in case anyone is going to be triggered by it. You don't have to click on it. I'll post a picture right here of Rayshard Brooks, just like a normal one, nothing gory or anything, but he just to sum up the story for you, he had been at a birthday party and he had some drinks or whatever, and he was in a fast food line, right? And so somebody had called the police and said that he was asleep in the fast food line. So when the police got there, they had asked him to drive his car on and move to a parking space, just like right beside the, I think it was a Wendy's parking lot. So they asked him to pull to a parking space. He gets out of the car. He's having a very calm conversation with the police officers. They give him a breathalyzer test. In the video, they don't announce the results, but it's come out later that he was a little bit over the legal limit. He said that his sister lived less than 5 minutes up the road, like just right around the corner. He said that he had just been with his like wife and his kids at the party together, and they had gone home, and he didn't go with them. But it was a very cordial conversation. The police officers were like, well, you're not able to drive, and they try to arrest the man. He had a prior record. I think he was on probation or something. I'm not actually 100% sure, but I know he had some type of record. And he just did not want to be arrested, understandably. And so he gets out of the police's, like, they have his hands behind his back. He is able to run away, and he takes one of the officer's tasers, right? There's two officers here. He's maybe 10 feet away. The officer is chasing him, and he, like, the taser that he's holding, he shoots out at one of the officers, and the officer that's chasing him has a taser in his hand. And after Rayshard shoots the taser, the officer is holding his taser, like, out like this, doesn't shoot his taser, makes the conscious decision to throw his taser down, unholster his weapon, and shoot this poor man in his back. Now, I'm not saying you should ever run from the police or steal their weapon or whatever, and there's a lot of controversy about whether or not the police officer did the right thing, because, like, you know, he took a weapon. But my take on this whole situation, and feel free to agree or disagree, whatever, I wholeheartedly believe if that would have been a white man, and when you watch the video, you will understand. You don't even have to watch it to the end, to the gruesome part, but if you watch the video, they were having such a cordial conversation. No one was, you know, being mean. He was having a very calm conversation with the officers. The officers were very calm with him. It was a very cordial conversation. It was back and forth. They were just talking like two people on the street. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that if this man had been white, he would not have died. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's so many, police officers have so much discretion when it comes to, like, stopping people. You know, teenagers get stopped all the time and don't get tickets if they're speeding because police officers like, I hit you off with a warning. This man was in a parking lot, and even if he was drunk, he had told the officers, like, people, my relatives live right around the corner. They could have easily said, okay, we'll give you a ride home. We'll call someone to come pick you up. Like, there's someone we can call because you're not safe to drive. But this man didn't have to be arrested. And because he was so scared of being arrested, he ran. Now, I'm not saying I'm not condoning running from the police. I'm not condoning, you know, drunk driving. I'm not doing any of that. But I'm saying police officers, and people are like, oh, well, they were just doing their job. But were they? Police officers' jobs are to maintain maintain the peace, and to be advocates for citizens, just to, like, make everyone feel safer. Police officers, their job is to help people. So, like, why was this man not helped? Like, why did he have to be arrested? It's not like he was driving and they stopped his car. Like, and, like, I know, like, even if you're in a parked car, because he moved his car from the drive-through line to the parking spot, technically he was drunk driving, but, like, that's, like, semantics, okay? They really could have called someone to pick him up and been like, sir, you're drunk, we can't let you drive home, but, like, go home, okay? You know what? Go home. Because I just think there's a better way to police. Like, I think we can give people second chances and give people opportunities to, like, be safe and to keep their lives. This man didn't have to die, and he did. So that's my take on that one. Take it or leave it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think things really have to change, and we have to do better. My next point is that I want to talk about something I posted on my Instagram story earlier this week. I will even link it down below. It's about the term black, whether it's okay to, call someone black. When we're saying a story, how people always whisper, and she was black, and he was black. Like, cut it out. Cut it out, okay? If you're telling a story, if the person's race is not relevant, you don't need to say it. But if you're gonna say it, you don't need to whisper it. Like, I'm not gonna be offended if you be like, oh, he was black. Say it, okay? It's not like a bad word to say that someone's black. And like, there's a lot of, there's a whole debate on whether like we should say black or African American. My stance is black is not offensive. Like, I don't know where that notion came from exactly. People want to say African American because it's more respectful, but like, not every black person in America is African American. Some people are Caribbean American. Some people are, Haitian American. Some people are like, they look a little darker, but they're not African. They're Puerto Rican Americans. Some people are African American and they're not black. I went to high school with a girl who is white, and her parents are both from South Africa, so she identifies as African American. Ever think of that? Like, there aren't just black people in Africa. So like, I don't know where this notion came from. Everybody thinks black is a bad word. But like, yeah, cut it out. Let people identify how they want to identify. But like, don't be afraid to say that word. Like if somebody looks black, you can call them black, and you can ask someone, what is your ethnicity? Like, I don't want to get it wrong. That's perfectly fine. I think asking first is always great. Are you comfortable with me calling you black? Are you comfortable with me calling you African American? That takes 2 seconds. Why can't we just ask? Like, I just, like, people love to like have these debates and like, oh, this is what I say and this is why I think it's right. But like, I don't know. I think a lot of problems can be solved if we just ask the people that it affects. But that's just me though. And that's all I have to say on that. I had one of my friends ask me actually about like capitalizing the B in black, because a lot of black people and African American people say capitalize the B in black, and she had asked me, why is that? Like, I just don't understand. And it was a perfectly respectful question. So she just wanted to know, because she said, if we call someone white, we don't usually capitalize the W in white. But my response to her was that like blackness and being black has evolved into something greater than just like our appearance. It's a whole culture. Being black in America is like an identity, and it's turned into an ethnic group. Like, if we're calling someone, like, if someone is white, usually they won't always introduce themselves as white. Like, I'm Jewish, or I'm Irish, or I'm Italian. All of those are capitalized, and they're not all nationalities. They're like the group that you identify with. So if you're like, I'm black and I'm proud, capitalize that B. And like, we're not trying to hide it or anything, but like, usually if you're white is not an ethnicity. I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone. You know what? I don't care, because I'm a minority, so I'm not going to be offending anyone. But like, usually white people don't just introduce themselves as white. They're like, I'm Jewish, or I'm Italian, or I'm, Irish, or I'm, British, or whatever. Everybody has another modifier. And so if black is my modifier, I'm black and I'm proud, and that is a capital B in black. Another bit of sad news. I'm sorry, I don't want this segment in my videos to turn into sad news, but a lot of what's happening in the world right now is just sad, and it just needs to change. But I do this news you may have missed while watching mainstream media because people need to hear about it, and it's not being talked about. So our next story is that in New Mexico, there was a group of people, all nationalities, all ethnicities, were protesting around a statue of a white colonizer that was just very offensive to the people that lived there. Like, there were a couple Native American people at this protest too, and everybody was just like, this statue needs to go. This week, this weekend, a little bit last week too, these statues of these racists that we've decided to immortalize, and these big, tall statues are being knocked down, and I love it. Power to the people. But what happened in New Mexico is actually very sad. A protester was shot by a member of a civilian militia. And yeah, the protester was shot. I will be including the link below so you guys can read about that story and watch the video of the protest that was pretty peaceful, in my opinion. And the person was shot. The person is okay, and I believe the militia member that shot the protester got arrested. Who knows if they'll get off or not, but like, these militias have to stop, okay? Stop civilian militias 2K20. Next, I'd like to talk about a video that I saw this week that honestly brought me to tears. Like, it was so sad. A FedEx driver was called the N-word by a passing car. He was literally doing his job. He's an essential worker, mind you. And this woman rolls down her window, calls him the N-word, and spits in his face, and drives away. That just isn't right. I'm sorry, but why is there so much racism still in America? Like, where's this hate coming from? When did we, like, why do we hate other people just because of how they look or how they live their lives? Like, I don't understand it. What is it about the way that person lives their lifestyle that offends you? Like, what is it about my blackness that makes you uncomfortable? Like, why does my skin being brown offend your eyes? If so, I don't know, close your eyes, but like, how does it offend you? So like, I just don't understand. Like, why would a gay person getting married offend someone else? Are you in their marriage? Do you live in their house? If you don't like looking at it, look the other way. I don't know, wear sunglasses. Like, it's not hard. It's not hard. So yeah, that's that on that. And that's on being racist, homophobic, transphobic, and just judgmental in general. So that's that on that. My last piece of really, really, really good news is that these protests seem to be working because a lot of racist brand names are changing, honey. Aunt Jemima, she's out. I know the brand changed the mascot a few years ago, maybe like 10 or so years ago, because it used to be a very like homely looking black lady, and they've changed it to where it was like more of like a, I don't know, mom looking black lady, but they're changing the brand completely. They're taking the woman off. They're changing the name Aunt Jemima, and I think that's great because it's just got racist origins. They're also changing Uncle Ben's rice because Uncle Ben is just like, I don't know, it's like black people were usually called brother or uncle instead of white people calling them sir, because people didn't want to show them that respect. So Uncle Ben is just inherently racist, and Ben used to look like a really homely old black man now, and then they revamped him some years ago where he's wearing a bow tie now and he's a businessman. But like, cut it out. So that name's changing. People are also considering changing the name Cracker Jacks, even though that brand, the name wasn't created to be a racist slur or anything, but cracker is a bad word. Like, you know, it's very offensive to a lot of people, so I think it's great that we're changing that. Land O'Lakes butter, if you've ever seen that in the store, it's got a Native American woman on it. I think the brand also revamped the image some years ago to where the person looked less, you know, racist, but now they're taking the woman off of the butter completely, so it'll just be Land O'Lakes butter, and I think they're just making like, I don't know if they're gonna have a symbol anymore, or if they're just gonna make it like a landscape, which is like, I don't know why there was a Native American woman on it, and anyways, like, it's not a Native American brand, so I'm not really sure why some of these brands decided to just have racist mascots. But like, if there's a brand out there that's still being offensive, y'all, we gotta call them out, because time is up. Like, time is up. So let's do this thing, okay? Go out there, affect some change. Let's do it, y'all. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Because racism waits for no one, so why are we waiting to stop it? Until next time, folks, love you all.